trick that costs nothing and works better than it should. Give the account a name. Not savings account number 2, but something like the words peace of mind, or safety net, or freedom fund. When money is about to leave a pile, your brain resists in a way it never does for a nameless account. You are not just moving numbers around anymore. You are protecting something you named. Does a shocking amount of the heavy lifting when temptation shows up. Now let me walk you through exactly how to set this up, because the how is where a lot of us stall out and quietly give up. The whole thing takes one your bank, you open one new savings account, ideally at a separate online bank, paying around 4%, and you set up a recurring transfer scheduled for the day after your paycheck normally lands. You pick a number that feels almost too small to matter. You name the account something that means something to you, and then you close the laptop. That is it. You will spend more time deciding what to watch tonight than you will spend building the habit that quietly rewrites your entire financial life. There are 3 buckets you want that automation feeding, and the order matters, so run them in this sequence. The first bucket is your starter cushion, and this one comes before everything else, including retirement, because it is what actually kills the Sunday night dread. The goal here is small on purpose. You are not trying to bank 6 months of expenses on day 1. You are trying to get a first $1,000 or even a first few hundred sitting in that separate account so the next surprise does not become a full-blown crisis. This matters more than ever right now. In the most recent national surveys, well over half of Americans say they could not cover a $1,000 emergency from savings, and more than a quarter have no emergency savings at all. That is not a character flaw shared by millions of people. Willpower simply keeps getting ambushed by a flat tire, a vet bill, a broken water heater. And saving quietly loses every time it depends on a good mood. Once that first small cushion is in place, keep the same automation running toward a fuller one. Say your basic monthly costs run around $3,200. A 3-month cushion, the kind that turns a job loss from a nightmare into a manageable rough patch, is a little under $10,000. That sounds impossible until you automate it. At $100 a week moving on its own, you cross that finish line in under 2 years without ever once sitting down to force yourself to save. Slow is the point. Slow and automatic beats fast and heroic every single time, because heroic runs out and automatic never does. The second bucket is the one that quietly makes you wealthy, and it is your retirement account, especially if your employer offers a match. If you have a 401k at work and your company matches part of what you put in, that match is free money, a raise you are allowed to hand yourself, and skipping it is the most expensive mistake in personal finance. Automating even a small percentage of your paycheck into that account, straight off the top, is the same trick that gave those automatically enrolled workers their edge. And the tax rules in 2026 give you plenty of room. You are allowed to put up to $24,500 into a 401k this year, and up to $7,500 into an individual retirement account on top of that. None of us needs to hit those numbers. The move is to start on autopilot and let time carry the weight. And time carries an absurd amount of it, which is the part almost nobody feels in their gut until they see it laid out. Imagine you automate just $250 a month into a retirement account invested in a simple broad market fund. Over the long run, the American stock market has returned somewhere around 7% a year after inflation. At that rate, $250 a month becomes about $43,000 in 10 years. Give it 20 years and it becomes around $130,000. Give it 30 years and it becomes just over $300,000, even though you only ever put in $90,000 of your own money. The rest, more than $200,000, Is growth you did nothing to earn except start early and never interrupt the machine? And I can already hear the next question, because it is the one that stops so many people cold. What do I even put the money in once it is automated? The honest answer is that you are allowed to keep this boring, and boring is exactly what wins here. Inside most retirement accounts, you can pick something called a target date fund, which is a single fund with the year you plan to retire printed right in its name. You choose the one closest to your retirement year, and it quietly spreads your money across the whole market and slowly gets safer as you age, all on its own. That is automation stacked on top of automation. Your paycheck moves the money in without you, and the fund invests it without you. If you would rather, a plain broad market index fund does a similar job for a rock bottom cost. The mistake is not picking the wrong fund. The mistake is leaving the money sitting in cash for 3 years because you were afraid to choose, while it earns nothing and inflation quietly eats it. Here is the reframe I want you to hold on to, because it changes how the whole thing feels. Every automatic transfer you set up is a small gift from the you of today to the you of 5 years from now. The you who gets laid off and does not panic because the cushion is already there waiting. It is the one who sees a plane ticket to somewhere they have always wanted to go and simply buys it because the travel account is full. And it is the one who lies down on a Sunday night and, for the first time in longer than you can remember, does not do the math. You are not depriving yourself. You are quietly building a person who gets to be calm about money. And you are building them in the background while you go about your ordinary week. If you are getting value from this, do me one favor. Subscribe and stick around, because I break down this exact kind of real number math every single week, and the next few minutes are where this turns from a nice idea into the thing that changes your actual life. Now let me show you the part about timing, because it is the closest thing to a warning I will give you in this entire video. The single most expensive habit in all of money is waiting for the perfect moment to start. Take that same $250 a month at that same 7%. Begin today and run it for 30 years, and you land just over $300,000. Wait 10 years to start, so you only run it for 20, and you land around $130,000. That 10-year delay did not cost you the 10 years of contributions you skipped. It cost you roughly $175,000 in growth that never got the chance to happen. The money you would have added is small. The compounding you gave up is enormous, which is exactly why the move is to automate something imperfect right now rather than wait to automate something perfect later. While you are in there setting up transfers, do one more thing that lightens the load in a completely different way. Put your fixed bills on auto pay. Rent or mortgage, the electric bill, insurance, the phone, the streaming charges you keep forgetting about. Every due date you are holding in your head is a small open tab your brain keeps paying rent on. And every late fee is money you burn for the crime of being busy. When those bills pay themselves automatically, two things happen at once. The late fees stop, and the low-grade hum of did I pay, that yet stops with them. One caution here. Autopay is not permission to stop looking. Once a month, take 2 minutes to glance at what went out. So a forgotten subscription or a sneaky price hike never rides along for free. Now we have to deal with the thing quietly eating a lot of people alive, which is high-interest debt. If you are carrying a balance on a credit card, automation becomes more than a savings tool. It turns into a form of defense. The average credit card in 2026 charges over 20% a year, which means a balance you ignore does not sit still. It grows quietly while you sleep. Here is the automated fix. Set up an automatic payment for more than the minimum every month aimed straight at your highest rate card. The minimum payment is a trap designed to keep you paying